Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're watching this video, you're in the right place. My name is Quita and I blog over at www.signqc.com, and this is my YouTube. So I'm going to get into it really good. This is 5 guys that no woman should date. So really, to go a little deeper, it's 5 guys no Christian woman should date. But you know, the Christian thing isn't going to go anywhere, but I had to get you guys to click the video. So 5 guys no woman should date. So number 1 is the hypocritical guy. You all know exactly who I'm talking about. The guy that talks one way and lives another way. This is the guy who, you know, basically he lives one way in public, or he lives one way on Instagram, or he lives one way on Snapchat, and he's always talking about, yeah, I love the Lord, yeah, I love God, or yeah, I got all this money, or yeah, I got all this juice, or whatever. But in private, he's a totally different person. And most often, this is the guy that's gonna make you compromise. You guys will have conversations about who you wanna be, or what type of ministry you wanna have, or that you both love God. But when you get in private, it's different. It'll be compromising. It'll lead you to sin. It'll lead you away from the plans and the purpose that God has for your life, or even the plans and the purposes that you and him set together. So it may be that, hey, we both want to finish college. We both want to pursue our masters. But then when you guys get in private, it may be like, hey, yeah, let's skip class. This is the guy that's going to lead you away for God's will from your life. In Matthew 15:8, it says, the words, let me make sure I get it right. It says, they praise me with their words, but their hearts are far from me. Lip service. So when you meet Mr. Lip Service, he got to get out of here. Number 2 is project husband. And when I first said this and I was telling Devin, I said it kind of sounded like I was talking about like project, like the project, but this is basically a guy that you take on as a project. You basically think like, hey, he's gonna get better. Hey, he's gonna do better. Hey, he's gonna work out. I see the potential in him. And this is the type of woman I am, and I know a lot of my friends are. You see the good in people, and you see what could be. But I really don't believe in that it's your job or your responsibility to take on somebody as a ministry or a project. You're not looking to pursue a husband to fix him. We fix food. We don't fix husbands. We don't fix men. And the thing is, I think a lot of times that we're trying to take away what God does. So we think that we can stand in the place of what God's supposed to do. God, Jesus Christ, he's the only provision for man's sin. He's the only one that can change anyone. So when we try and come in there and we decide, hey, I really like you, I want you to be my man, but in the process, I'm going to try and change you and fix you and mold you and make you into who I want you to be, or who I think God has called you to be. And if you do see a guy like that and you do have intentions on being with him, I think the best thing for that is, my advice would be, is pray for him. Wait for him. You know, maybe that's somebody you see yourself maybe in the future, because you do see that potential in him. But I don't believe we should go into relationships pursuing a man that we know is not fit and called to be with us. I don't believe that God calls us to do that. I have dealt with this a lot in my own personal life. I mean, a lot. This was a really, really big one for me. And I want to definitely talk to my younger girls in this one. Older ones too, but definitely my younger girls this is MrJealousy. This is the guy who's very, very jealous, very, very possessive, very, very controlling. And I used to think it was really, really, really cute. It's like, wow, you like me so much that you don't want me to talk to anybody else and you just want to be with me all the time. I thought it was like a good thing that I had met a guy who idolized me. But number 1, when you idolize things of the world, whether it's you or your partner, all those things are fleeting. All of those things will run out, because real love doesn't look like that. So when you meet a guy who's very controlling and say, hey, you can't go here, or hey, you can't wear that, and hey, you shouldn't talk to this person, or hey, I don't want you there, that's not the guy for you. Number 4 is a guy with no plans. And I'm going to go a step further for especially us adult women, especially us adult Christian women, a guy who has no plans for marriage. Like, he's already told you, marriage is not really in the cards. I'm not really into marriage. That's not my thing. My mom was married and my dad, they got divorced. I'm not into marriage. Honestly, if you're a Christian woman, like most Christian women, and you're dating, you're not looking for pure companionship. You're looking for a spouse. So if you meet a man who says, I don't desire to be married and I have no intentions on being married, why are you guys even talking? Is it that you think that maybe it'll change him or he'll change his mind? But the thing is, when our eyes are set on the plans and the purpose and the will that God has for our life, then anything else is out of order. So the thing is, if you really are with a guy and he's saying, hey, I don't have any intention or any plans on marrying you, don't waste your time. I actually saw on Facebook a couple years ago the question somebody asked, how long is too long to date a guy without him asking you to marry him? And I really wrestled with that. First I said 2 years, then I said maybe a year, maybe 3 years, but it's not a time. I honestly believe if you desire to be married, like many women do, especially adult Christian women, we desire, those of you who do desire marriage, that should be the opening conversation. Because we are dating in preparation for our spouses, or courting, as some people say, every conversation should be leading in that direction. We should both already have our standards set on marriage. I was talking in the singles group in my church not too long ago, and I told them that was me and Devin's opening conversations in the first 2 or 3 months, that we both desire marriage. So the thing is, it wasn't, will he ask me? It was, when was he going to ask me? Because I knew that was both planned in our heart. And even to go a step further on the no plans for marriage, a guy with no plans, period, even young girls or young women, to date a guy who doesn't have any plans or any direction, this isn't the type of guy you want to be with. A lot of times, the Bible talks about being yoked together. In Amos 3:3, it says, how can two walk together unless they have agreed? Well, the thing is, if you guys haven't agreed on the direction that you're going to go, how can you guys walk alongside each other? You'll never will. It's so practical and so simple, but so true. A man who does not have goals or directions or plans for his life, how can you guys walk together? And last but not least, this is the most important one. So if you guys made it to the end of the video, thank you. I'm glad you grabbed your popcorn and enjoyed it. This is the most important one, and that is an unsaved man. This is going to be different for different people, but my stance on this is very clear. If I was single today, I would not date a man who's not saved. We don't have any reason to be together. I always talk about Chris, but you guys will hear her all the time because she's one of my good friends, and we share so much conversation about ministry together. We talked about how ministry is the foundation of our friendship, and because our relationships with God are eternal, it makes our relationship with each other better. And it's the same thing with your husbands and your wives and your boyfriends and your girlfriends. If the foundation is not the word of God, everything else passes away. I always think about how when me and Devin were 18, like the music we liked, we don't like it now. Or how we might have liked, we used to go to the beach. We haven't been to the beach, like just chilling in like 2 years, because everything over the course of your life changed. And what the thread that brought you and that God together, in 5 years, it won't be to get there anymore. But what brought me and Devin together 5 years ago was the love of God and the plan and purpose on our life. So 5 years from now, we'll still have that, and 10 years and 20 years. And it's the same thing with your friendships with your girlfriends. It's the same thing with your friendships with your husbands and your potential husbands. You want to have that foundational thing. How can two walk together unless they have agreed? Because salvation is such a big part of our life. It is our life. It's the only thing that we're here to do. I don't understand how Christian women can be with men that are not saved. And somebody may say, well, I thought Christians were supposed to be understanding, and I thought we were supposed to help other people and lead them to Christ. That is the only reason Jesus Christ left us here, to lead others to Christ. But I don't believe you need to do that in your relationships. That's not why we're here. To help somebody, that's awesome. To minister to somebody, that's great. But the thing is, do you need to minister to them in a relationship with them? I have a lot of friends who don't want to have sex. Well, if you're dating a guy who's not saved, is he really going to be able to understand those values? Because the foundation is different. Well, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really, really good for me. I love laying those things out for you. If you have any questions, make sure you leave those in the comments below. If you want to go see this full post on my website, you can see visit it at www.signqc.com. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.
But I gotta keep looking. Some will trust in horses and chariots, but I will look to the hills, and I will not fear. Some may say that they found another way, but my eyes are on